Good morning and welcome again to Summit. I am Jumoke Michaels, and this program is where we give you concise and apt information on national issues and whatever is the burning issue in our polity. You're welcome once again. Banji is right here. Banji, good morning.
Jumoke, good morning.
Welcome.
Should we say they get the information here first before they get it ordered? Yeah. And we do a no-holds-barred interview, getting the best from our guests. And today is not going to be an exception. Of course, so much is going to be discussed on today's edition of the program. My name is Banji Busari. Tomorrow is the date fixed for supplementary election in Adamawa, and of course, APC has kicked against the date. The supplementary elections for states held over the weekend, and we have two outstanding way to go. But certainly it's going to go either to APC or PDP. Those are the two parties that have shared virtually all the states in the federation, except maybe one or two by ABGA. Well, it's a fresh edition of the program, and I assure you this one is going to be a very, very interesting, exciting one, because we're going to discuss issues. And we're going to discuss personalities as well.
Oh, yes. Something you just said right now about the supplementary election slated to hold tomorrow. You know, it's a weekday, it's a work day, and I guess that the modalities around fixing a supplementary election on a weekday, was there a public holiday declared? How are the workers going to coordinate themselves to be able to actually be part of that election is one of the questions that the APC in Adamawa State is actually asking. What have you done? Did you ask the stakeholders? Did you seek their counsel? But has INEC actually sought anyone's counsel before making some of these decisions?
INEC is an independent.
Exactly. So when you say you didn't seek our counsel, it's a kind of clause, to all that. Well, we'll look at some of those issues on the program today as we discuss on Summit. We'll go on a break now, and then when we return, we'll have our guest for today. So please don't go away. It promises to be very, very informative. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I need the police that can respond to emergencies first.
I want the equipment I need to do my job.
I want a police that won't harass or arrest me for no just reason.
I want to be valued for my work, not feared by honest people.
I want a police that won't ask me anything for the boys.
I want a decent salary that is paid on time.
If it happen with good laws,
proper funding,
training,
and cooperation.
If it happen.
If it happen.
If it happen.
You're welcome back. Thanks for still being there. It's Summit. And joining us this morning, we have someone who's actually not a visitor on this program. He's someone that you see once in a while or most times on this program, and today he's going to be lending his voice to some state and national issues. Join me, welcome Mr. Joe Igbokwe. Welcome, sir.
How are you?
Good to have you on our program this morning. Are you still in the euphoria of winning at the state and the federal level?
Before you answer, certainly it's not out because I know your governor-elect, Sanwo-Olu, has not collected the certificate of return even as we speak. It was supposed to be today, but it's been shifted to Friday 29th. Are you worried that because everything will happen in Nigeria?
It's almost with 600,000 votes. What is going to happen?
No, it could be an interpret. Just as what will happen in Zamfara. Somebody could come up and say, "Oh no, he won the primaries."
We don't have any issue.
You don't have any issues.
We don't have any issue with that. It's a settled issue, a settled matter. Just a matter of protocol. Probably time. Like this is actually we're going to Abuja tomorrow for this colloquium. So many things. We must have shifted it to Friday.
Okay, but that day is actually Friday.
29th.
29th. Okay, but the
That's
event is
the
tomorrow.
Continues to be in Abuja.
Okay.
So all those lead to Abuja tomorrow. So Friday you can go and comment after winning the 600,000 votes, and I think anybody can do anything about it. Nothing. It's all over. So we're just waiting for our certificate. Certificate or not, it's just a mere paper.
We'll certainly talk about Asiwaju's colloquium birthday. I mean, he'll be 67 on Friday. But for me, the issue that I know an average Lagosian would actually want to be informed about is, one, we are aware of transition period. This is a transition period. What can you say about the processes of transition between the incumbent and the incoming? Is it smooth?
Of course. This is Lagos. Lagos is not like any other state in Nigeria. Everything is perfected here. Everything is done here with class and whatever it takes. Lagos is capable of handling any situation. So they are waiting for us to set the pace, and others will just copy. That's what we do here. So it's going to be a seamless exercise.
Because I'm aware, between the governor-elect and the incumbent, there has been a kind of war of words. Also in Imo, a war of words. But maybe because this one is APC to APC, there is not likely to be any issue.
There won't be any issue. This is Lagos. It's the base for civilized people who know how to play civilized politics. This is going to be a smooth, like I said, seamless transition. It's APC to APC, so it's not. If it's PDP now, they would have been bragging, "Oh, don't award contracts. If you award contracts, we're going to cancel it." This is kind of confusion in the camp. This is APC, one family.
All right, what about issues of internal wranglings within the party as per appointments? What do you have to say about that? Especially as we approach the...
It will come, lobbyists will come, all kinds of things will play out. That is normal. It's a normal thing. People don't want to be pushed aside. They want to be relevant. They want to be on the front seat. They want to be on the driver's seat. So you struggle. If you don't struggle,
maybe because those who spend so much or put in so much,
it's not about
and expect to be compensated.
It's not about spending. You're talking about those who are looking for positions, contractors who are lining up, people, kinds of vested interest, bodies, kinds of associations, people want to be relevant. It's a huge network of people over there here, but we'll overcome.
Always surmount it.
We'll overcome us. These things will come. They are natural things you expect.
Okay, I'm aware that several interest groups made huge sacrifices, investment during your elections. Were there commitments that you think? For instance, let me talk about the Southeast, the Igbo people. They were very much involved in your campaigns, and you actually wooed them. They acceded your request. They worked for the party. There are some commitments that you feel.
Commitments is that you are going to continue to provide a very conducive atmosphere for their business to thrive.
Okay.
And solve their problems, land issues, market issues, roads. Like we went to some major markets in Lagos. I didn't like the state of their roads. So these things I know is going to come into the picture. We went to Trinity, Lagos. We went to Spanda. We saw the state of Lagos in Badagry Express, although it's under construction. We entered into trade fair. We saw the state of their roads. We went to Ladipo. The work is going on there, but yet to be completed. We went to Computer Village. We saw the state of Computer Village, and not issue of roads, but how tight the place is. These are issues, tax issues, appointments. The people will continue to struggle. That is a normal thing. But it's good to everybody should be the governor. The incoming governor says he's going to run an inclusive government. That's where we are going to take him on his word, because and then they will expect that he will cross the T's and dot the I's here and there, just to carry everybody along, because Lagos is a microcosm of Nigeria. So you take all this into considerations. You're talking about North, the House of Learning, you're talking about the minorities in the North, you're talking about Southeast, you're talking about South, you're talking about Indigo in South and all that. These are things that we play out. How to manage all these things too. It should be on the governor's table. Then of course, we advise, their leaders that will advise to carry everybody along. Since he has promised that he's going to run an inclusive government, we will expect that he will do the needful.
All right, let's go to outside of Lagos. Let's look at the election the supplementary election fixed for tomorrow in Adamawa State, and we have the APC against fixing that election on a work day, putting into consideration the public servants and other workers. I think that's their major issue about that fixing of that they weren't consulted. Could you clarify that? Yes.
Like what I saw in the last elections, you just go out, accredit and then vote and go. We can do that. It's just a small segment of Adamawa State. It's not the whole of Adamawa State. You just go there, vote and go. All of them will not be there at the same time. So I noticed that. It's not a case of coming, you accredit and go home, and you're asked to come by 12 for 1. No, you just read and vote and you go back to work. So it's a non-issue. There's no fear about it. It doesn't remove anything from anybody. It's a small segment. I don't know how many local governments that are involved. If you can spare about 30 minutes or 1 hour, 2 hours to go and do that, it's okay. It's okay. I don't think anybody should raise any eyebrow about it.
The fears raised by the state chapter of the party may have been genuine, because we are aware that the APC lost to PDP, Bauchi, in Imo, in Oyo, and others. Maybe APC of that state are also afraid that, this is another telltale sign of loss. Is it that they're afraid? How genuine do you think that?
No, I think, APC is not PDP.
Okay.
That's what I've said. If you go to the PDP, they can do anything. You see, it's difficult for them to write results now and post. In some areas that will not be having elections since 1999, they are finding it difficult to write results and post. They sit down in their houses and write results, especially in South and Southeast. They sit down in their houses and write results in the years of the locust and post and pretend as if something is going on. Dynamic inactivity and nothing is going on. They will just publish the result, and then this time everybody's sweating it out. In 2003, I told you all the league posted 2.3 million votes.
But those are the points. The points you have raised against PDP now are the same points being raised by the Atiku legal team.
Let me tell you.
The tribunal started its sitting today, and there are serious fears. In fact, in the social media, there's this post that Atiku is coming. Atiku is coming, and the reason why. Now, is it true your party is a bit jittery?
How?
And you're taking them up on the issue of server. Now, how did they get into the server? Now, it appears your party is aware. Facts may be revealed through that.
Which facts? They couldn't get into the server. That was what they planned to do when they said they should allow results to be transmitted. They want to go and transmit. They brought in some people to help them. That's one of their Dubai strategy. thinking that what happened in America will happen here, where they will just, this is not America. People can go and post anything. I would say, no, it cannot happen. Well, it's the president. President is a liberal person.
Our president
that doesn't want anybody, doesn't want a dent on his image. If I were the president, these by-elections, he did. I will work so hard. I'll put in everything to make sure I get.
But he told the governors to work hard.
No, he will go there.
He told the governors to work hard.
He will go there. I will go there.
And he will not help them to rig the election.
He's not going to rig. You are going there to campaign. They're seeing you will show how important that election is. If I were the president, but he would have said, okay, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to influence it. But I will use my position to influence whatever is going to happen there. I will spend time. I will put resources down. I will make sure I win those states for my party. PDP will never have.
You will not have lost Sokoto.
341. 341. And somebody said you cannot win an election with 341 votes and it will be a winner takes it all. It's almost a draw. So go and share power with the opposition. Somebody saying that. Say maybe it's not constitutional. Maybe someday we'll start looking at it. I will take that 341 votes, whatever it will cost, whatever it will take. I won't sit down. He don't do that, especially to a party like
maybe he has become a Democrat to the core.
No, not a Democrat. It's his person. It's his person. If he had gone to that local governments where there were issues, they would have to him,
for his sake.
They would have given it to him.
But they would not have given it to the governor, the contestant, the candidate himself. I mean, the vote would have probably because of the president, not because of the candidate.
That's what I'm saying. Going back to that place and saying, look, do it for me.
Okay. Are you not downplaying the preference of the people?
No. You can influence the people. If you have a pedigree, you can influence the people. Use it. If you don't use it, another person will use it. You don't throw your cap away. I've always said it. Madman will pick it and go away. See, that's how they're bragging.
So if you were the president, you would not have lost Bauchi. You would not have lost Sokoto.
If you have to win it, you have to sweat. You have to sweat to win it. I will go there and campaign for my party. I will go there to make sure I win. It's not going to rig. It's to win. The man has integrity. All they need to do is to see him. They said the man will appeal to them. Please vote for me. I need to have majority of the states. I need to have majority in the National Assembly for me to do my work. It's an appeal. They will see you. You say, I don't the governor, but that is the president's style. I'm telling you about my style. My style is that I will even work harder than what I did if I were to be during the presidential elections. Because I need.
Maybe you are taking it for your expectation is very high.
Yes.
Because the president was in Abeokuta and he said people should vote for the party of their choice.
This is a struggle for power. It's not a tea party. It's his own style. But I'm telling you my own style. I won't even give any chance, not even an inch, to the kind of party that we have as the opposition. People that plundered the nation for 16 years. If they were genuine, honest party. As if we gathered all the looters and thieves in Nigeria and put them in one party, put them in one truck. That's what I know.
Yeah, you said something.
I have a history
of
this.
Intimidated by the legal team of the
which legal team?
We have over 30 sons.
Bring 500. They're just interested in his money. They are just interested in his money.
And they've listed 5 main reasons why Buhari should not have won that election.
It's not enough for you.
The certificate issue has come up again, are you aware?
Certificate. That one will not go anywhere. They are just wasting. They will just want to collect money. Everybody wants to collect money from Atiku. There's a lot of money. Our money. Stolen funds. That's what is going to be at play. Every 4 years, lawyers wait for.
So you are not shaking. Your party is not shaking.
Shaking for where? We just gave them too much ground to be talking what they're saying now. If you have worked so hard and make sure they don't get up to 5 states, they won't be talking like this. It's because we are lenient. You open your doors. Oh, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. How can you?
What would you have done?
A thief is in your house.
What other thing would you have done? Could you have done any other thing than mobilizing your people to vote?
That's what I'm saying. One example is to One is that we have a president that is loved by all. You can capitalize on that. Okay. You have to go to Bauchi. You have to go to Bauchi. You have to go to Sokoto. That Sokoto is paining me. That Sokoto, that traitor there, who led all our people to PDP. It was an attempt to decimate and destroy APC. And you will put resources you would have put in 3 states in Sokoto State just to get that traitor out of that place, and we allow him to stand.
It's the beauty of democracy, sir.
It is paining me.
Beauty of democracy.
We would have served this would have served as a deterrent to other people, traitors. All the 15 people that betrayed APC that went to, none of them returned. They said, somebody said God allowed him to be there to continue to entertain them.
But this is politics. Don't you think that there is even anticipation that some of these people could even return back to APC? Don't you think?
Passengers.
And they'll be welcomed back.
See,
yes. Thank you, Igbokwe. No, we have a case very close to us, Ilogu. Would you have imagined that October Daniel would ever consider coming to be a PC?
Yes.
So he said it's being led by his people.
Wait. If I open a church and you are coming, I say you want to repent.
You will interview us first.
No, come first. What I will not give you is the pulpit. The pulpit to go and preach. You will be on the back seat and learn for years. We watch your level of repentance and see whether it's genuine or not. What we will not give you is the pulpit.
Thank you for actually bringing up this issue.
We need people.
So, along that line, the issue of Senate presidency for the National Assembly leadership is becoming another big issue now. You are aware of the attempt by your party to push forward, people, consensus candidates for that president. That's Ahmed Lawan for Senate president, and then Aung Badabia Mila for speakership. Now, but then the PDP and other stakeholders have said these are an attempt by outsiders to impose leadership on the National Assembly, which they want to rebuff, they want to resist. It's not constitutional. Even your own party man is saying what you have done is unconstitutional. So are you sure you are being careful enough?
See,
what happened, a replay of what happened in 2015?
It's not the same. Completely at variance. Opposite. In 2015, we slept too much. 51 senators were busy having a meeting somewhere. Saraki went to align with people we just defeated after 32 years of struggle for power. And
he was also part of them. He just defected.
He defected then. He was in APC. He left his fellow members of APC. That's why when you're admitting people, you don't know the kind of people they are. You keep them in the back seat first. He went under the cover of darkness and sabotaged the entire. I've never seen such betrayal in my life. Thank God he's where he is today. If you know what he did, he didn't only succeed in doing that. He ridiculed the government. He ridiculed the president, the National Assembly, the Federal Executive Council. He ridiculed the court process. He abused the court process and made mockery of democracy. Carrying all the National Assembly members, him and Dogara, playing games, as if the president does not mean anything to him. I've never seen such a betrayal in my life, and he played to the clear. And thank God today, he has been worsted. That's the one that is
probably won the hearts of the people.
Picking Kwara State.
Did you not see that?
Let me go. Picking Kwara State. Kwara State going to APC more than 6 states to us.
More than 6 states.
More than 6. More important than 6 states.
Because of the Saraki factor.
Because of the guy messed up this government big time. Delayed the budget. Padded the budget at his own will. He decided when to pass the budget and when, and we suffered for 4 years. I thought this thing will end. I thought he will be pitched. He played this game. He played this game and, played with the government for 4 years. Thank God he's out. The only person that is paining me, that is still in the saddle, is Dino Melaye and the governor of Sokoto State. These are the traitors that slowed down the process of governance and punished almost more than 150 Nigerians.
Okay,
Because
so what is
were
going to
Senate.
happen this time around?
That's why.
From what happened in Abuja yesterday, I mean the choice of Amela.
We have got a choice.
Are you in control?
Do you know?
Is your party
do you
in control
know
now?
that these were candidates in 2015? These two,
Are you sure they may not get there?
they were our candidates.
Are you aware of that?
Yes, this Lawan, they were candidates.
But what have you done about Senator Ndume? Ndume? He's kicking very hard, and he's a member of your party.
No, they will. They will. We have
Shouldn't they have done that before they
Everybody
announced
who
Lawan?
is a two-timer in the Senate is qualified to be. But the party said, this is what we want. You saw the chairman of the party. You saw the president. You saw Achewaju. You saw the leader. What else are you looking for? Your boss will say,
Did they talk to him?
He's a loyal party member. He will remain there. He's going to wait for his turn.
But he's talking to the press.
Go see Wahala. Let him vent his anger.
Go see Wahala.
Go see Wahala, no trouble. Let him vent his anger. He's a loyal party man. Let him remain. His time will come. That's what Achewaju will tell us, our leader. Wait for your turn. These are candidates in 2015. This Lawan and Benjamin Miller. That's why Benjamin Miller, when he was allowed to go for fifth term. Fifth term. That's what it's been. Because we feel that he need to occupy that position. So everything is done for a purpose. It's just like what we're saying now. Look at the balance of power. We told our people in the Southeast, play better politics. They would have known, yes, our son is on the ballot for PDP. They will vote for it. But we would have also thought it wise that this thing can tilt to the other side, the APC can still win. You don't go and work hard in a particular zone where you have about 2 or 3 times senator to prepare him for the Senate presidency so that your balance of power. They didn't do that. Now, excluded in the setup. You do yourself. You see, there must be power of critical thinking and power of strategic thinking. That's what politics is all about. You sit down, you plot, you weigh this option, you weigh the other option. If it goes like this, what am I going to do? If it goes like this, what am I going to do? So that you will not be put into the dustbin of history, or you'll be left behind. When others will be in the hall, you'll be looking through the window. So what are they saying? The Igbo people say, what are these people saying? Because you're not inside the hall, you're looking through the window. Politics is too important to be left for politicians alone. We are expected that leaders in this outfit have said, okay, let's look this way. This thing might go this way. This thing might go this way. If it go this way, what do we do? This is part of strategy. Hope is not a strategy. Hope is no strategy. Hoping that, this will happen. This will happen. I will win. It's not a strategy. Strategy is to consider 2 ways. If it does happen like this, what happen? What am I going to do? If it goes this way, what am I going to do? Then you are thinking.
Even me, I still want to take him up on that. But let's just go on a quick break. Let's just take a break. Please stay with us. We'll be back shortly.
I need the police that can respond to emergencies first.
I want the equipment I need to do my job.
I want a police that won't harass or arrest me for no just reason.
I want to be valued for my work, not feared by honest people.
I want a police that won't ask me anything for the boys.
I want a decent salary that is paid on time.
If it happen with good laws,
Proper funding.
Training.
and cooperation. If it happen.
If it happens.
If it happen.
Welcome back. It's still Summit, and Mr. Joe Igbokwe is still here with us in the studio. All right, now let's go to talk about the chairman of, is it the chairman really? Ashwaju? the national leader.
He's the national leader
Of the party.
Yes.
Now there's so much on him, especially since after this. Let me say that within this election period, there's been a lot of talk about him, some allegations, and this man doesn't ever seem to crumble. You don't ever seem like any of these things is actually touching him. He's like, I know where I'm going, and I'm facing where I'm going, that kind of thing. Now, let's talk about the attack from Afenifere, most especially against his image.
Yes, I will just read a quote from him here.
Okay.
And I will just move on. He said, and I quote, "There are many things I don't have a hand that I receive blames for. That is why I'm trying to have my hands in almost everything so that the blames on me will be taken in good faith. I don't have any magical power. People are my greatest source of strength. When I promise, I don't fail. I don't care how I keep my promise. I must keep it first before I leave. Once it is made, it must be kept."
Once it is made, it must be kept.
And another said, this is my piece on Achiwaju system. And another said they want to be like Achiwaju. They want to command respect. They want the world to accept them the way they have accepted Achiwaju. They want to get great followers like Achiwaju. They want to be admired the way people admire Achiwaju. They want people to love them the way they love Achiwaju. They want to stand tall anywhere they go like Achiwaju. They want to attract attention like Achiwaju. They want to be celebrated and honored like Achiwaju. They want to be worshipped the way we worship Achiwaju, or the way his followers worship him. They want to be lifted up the way God has lifted Achiwaju. They want to be noticed like Achiwaju. They want to stand out like Achiwaju, and they want to influence decisions like Achiwaju. But none of them can do what he has done. None of them. But in actions and deeds, they are not like Achiwaju. In character and tolerance, they are not like Achiwaju. In commitment and hard work, they are not like Achiwaju. In grace and empathy, they are not like Achiwaju. In temperament and love for humanity, they are not like Achiwaju. They cannot surrender their homes to the people the way Achiwaju has been doing for years. They cannot fight for others the way Achiwaju does. They cannot deny themselves freedom for the sake of others the way Achiwaju does. They cannot stand for ordinary people the way Achiwaju does. They cannot be trusted the way Achiwaju, the way we trust Achiwaju. They cannot give the way Achiwaju does. They cannot sacrifice what Achiwaju has sacrificed for humanity for close to 40 years. They cannot live for others the way Achiwaju has lived for us for years. I can go on and on, but he who must lead others must first lead themselves.
He who must lead others
must first lead yourself.
Lead yourself. Because for us, particularly in the southwest, the man Bola Ahmed Tinubu has actually been the issue. That's the description given about Chief Obafemi Awolowo in one of his birthdays by the former head of state, Ibrahim Babangida. Achiwaju has been the issue, has been the main issue in the southwest politics, and of late even in the national politics. And a lot of people have been, just as we have read, there's this kind of
pulling down syndrome,
and what is it that makes the man so thick that even with all the attacks, just as Jumoke asked, with all the attacks, the man remains strong and remains very, very influential. You recall that even when our president was giving his vote of thanks, was giving his acceptance speech, Achiwaju was about the only Nigerian he acknowledged as somebody who contributed immensely to his re-election. So what's this thing that's making it so possible over the years?
You see, one man Kipling is a poet, and he said, if you can keep your head when others are losing theirs, the world belongs to you and everything that is in it. Achiwaju walks when they are sleeping. He bears our burden. He even walked for us when we were sleeping. Go to his house any day. There's no way you cannot meet 200 people there. We have taken over his sitting room, parlor, toilets everywhere. Even the roads. Even the gates leading to his house. You have to struggle to go in, you have to struggle to go out. How many of us can tolerate that situation? How many? And he said he is the most abused Nigerian. Most abused Nigerian. But that one has been, and he said that one has been his strength. They even blame him for what he has no hands on. So he now wants to have a hand in everything so that he will take all those blames in good faith. That's what he said here. He said, I'm actually bed to the people. I walk when others are sleeping. And he said, I make news. I make news for
Is it true that at one time in the past that he stepped down or he sacrificed his senatorial ambition for one of the in Lagos State?
Yes. Even presidential ambition.
Even presidential ambition.
He said, me, I want to be president, but my son is going there. What is the issue?
What's the name of that son? Who is that son?
Oshibajo now.
Oshibajo
is there.
But that would have been Muslim ticket.
No, he has been interested. He has been interested. But didn't we vote Abiola and
Jingibe?
Didn't we? It's now after 1993 because they destroyed that mandate that we now went back to tribalism. We now went back to tribalism. Who is there? And the bigotry has eaten deep into the fabrics of our society. This is something we killed in 1993. How many years now? More than 20 years. More than 20 years. We killed it, and it's still coming up. If we have set that example, nobody will be talking about where I'm coming from today. Because Abiola would not have failed Nigerians. He would have elevated matters of governance in Nigeria and built this country. But we lost it.
Well, in one of the write-ups, what I read was that a lot of the followers, majority of the followers are not doing that out of conviction. They are doing that because of personal gains. What they will get from the man. That there's so much to share.
It is not true. The man is breaking his back for us, for the ordinary people. If you get to his gate on a certain day, I don't know how they know that he's in town. There are people who feed by staying by his gate. They call themselves Bodilon boys. That's their store. That's their market. That's their business. What do? They wait for dignitaries that are going in and coming out. If I go there and they come, we know them. It's our boys. Committed APC members. The Shiwaju's house is their bus stop. It is their store. It is their market. It's everything. How many of you can tolerate that? And they will be there. If there are many, the other day I went about 4 buses from last week. 4 luxurious buses. They took 4 luxurious buses and came to his house, occupied everywhere, caused traffic. That very busy Bodilon. Actually, at times we ask them to go and buy food for those people, Mr. Biggs. They will eat the food and through the takeaway place all over. We vat that Bodilon. What will actually do? You will just drive out. Once you drive out, everybody will go. You will not call sweepers. They will go and sweep, pack all those things and go. Tomorrow is the day. Okay. I've been an insider, so you should know what I'm talking about. Inside the sitting room, in fact, we've driven them out of their house. We're almost driving them out of their house. I feel for Remy, the wife. At any particular point in time, about 50 people will be in the sitting room. East, west, north, and south. Everybody wants to see us. There was one night, about 1 a.m. to 1 a.m., 2 o'clock, all of us were sleeping. He came out. He said, see, all of you are sleeping, only me is awake. All of you want to see me. When is your turn? You come and see me. But it's only me that is not sleeping. We felt for him. And you see, he will come out and he will hold his waist and he will be doing like this. You feel it. He's working for us. He's working for us. So, such men are rare to find. That's why I say anybody who is doing something.
Would you equate him?
Know.
Would you equate Asiwaju with Chief Obafemi?
That's what
I don't think I want to truly to get off his house. The way.
That's much.
That much.
But people are saying that's a joke taken too far. That to compare Asiwaju with Chief Obafemi. That's what some people are saying.
No.
That they don't belong to the same category.
People come and go. People live to tell their history. We tell their history. They may not be on the same. Asiwaju may have moved further because he has been there for a while. Has been there for a while, and he works so hard. As he's playing politics, he's also doing his business. Because when we get there, sometimes we'll be saddled with international bodies, business partners across the globe. They will be. I don't know whether that man sleeps at all. I don't know. Because we will be there till about 3 a.m. at times, and we'll go home. People will sleep in there. They are using one tree for us now. When the whole place is filled up, we just drive out. Another location, He has such locations in Lagos, we just go there. If you want to do something, we just go to one location in Lagos and like to see what you want to see.
Certainly, I want to you don't have one of his boys, so you know those locations.
You hide from us, you just go and hide. But I will shock you. The people are his power. I can imagine what will happen in his house when Asiwaju comes and there's nobody in his house. He go die. If he die, because people are his power. He likes seeing people around. He likes addressing people. He likes sharing his thoughts with, and these are not mean people. If you want to be a leader, you have to surround yourself with those who know, intellectuals, experienced diplomats, former commissioners, former ministers. They come from the east, west, north, and south. If Gandhi is coming, everybody's coming. Anyway, everybody who wants to be anybody in APC across Nigeria will go to his house. Those who want to contest from southeast, they will be calling me, please take me that way. Take me that way. They want to. It's only one leader that they have identified in Nigeria in APC they can go to. Others, they don't have access to them. They don't have access. It's accessible. He sits with the common people. All the local government chairmen in Lagos, 57 of them, he knows them by their names. They will come and talk to him. All the ward chairmen, all the local government leaders. I'm not talking, there's chairman of local government. There's chairman of APC, local government. Chairman of the local government. They all know him.
All right, still talking about the Southwest, really, because you find out that these are the same people who, in spite of his prominence and, let me put it in quote, power that he exhibits, the same Southwest people seems not to still want to accept him as a Yoruba leader. And it's quite puzzling when you think about it. Why do you think, I know you are more of a Lagos man, forget the fact that you are from the East, you are a Lagos person. Why do you think this is still
the issue?
Still so, yes, the issue. Okay. Because the way you have described him, you have put him, from what you said, even above Awolo. So, but why do you think this challenge is still there?
It will come. It's natural. Success recently. Let me, how I close this work. The great man deserves all the accolades, all the attributes, all the tributes, and all praises and all honor coming from all those who love him. We know that success brings envy, hate, and petty jealousy. It is allowed in a pluralistic society like ours. There's nothing anybody can do about it, such is life. Okay? Let me use Jesus Christ for you as an example, who came to save mankind. When he was brought before Pharaoh, before the pirates, conscious bad, and he went and investigated all the claims of those who want to crucify him and found out that it is false. False. Everything false. And he said this man is innocent. But if you go and kill this man, this blood will enter your head and that of, they say, let it enter our head and that of our children. The one yet unborn, generations yet unborn. The man went inside, took water and washed his feet and handed over.
Okay, from one state.
Those who did that in Israel, that's why they are still fighting today. They have lost almost 90% of their lands. They are still paying the price of that betrayal. The world will not like you if you are a successful person. They don't like me. Oh, some people will be abusing me. If you open your mouth, they will the truth.
So you know,
man, do me.
You know.
They will be.
This my small
I learned this thing from my child, so it's nothing to me. Do you even sleep at all with all these abuses? I said, they can never abuse me more than they have done Tatuaji. And Tatuaji is still moving. You know, somebody said you cannot jump from California to Catalina Island, a distance of 25 kilometers. It's impossible. It's impossible. You cannot get what you don't have. Success is not an event. It's not an event.
Time may not really permit us to send.
Tomorrow we are going to Abuja, and the topic is work for people. The topic of the colloquium.
Okay, colloquium.
Yes.
Okay, it's happening in Abuja tomorrow.
Tomorrow we are going work for people and wait for your reward. That's
work
what
for people.
Work for people. That's what they just wrote there. Work for people. That is. He is trying to tell you that Atiwaju is where he is today because of the people. We are what we are because of other people. It's an adage in South Africa. It's an adage.
I'm aware that campaigns have not started. We are still grappling with the one that's ongoing. 2023 is almost here, sir. Speculations that Asiwaju is also eyeing presidency. You have so many boys to work for. You are one of them. Would you work for him even to that level? Kò sẹ́ni tó mọ̀ la.
Don't worry. When we get to the bridge,
we'll cross that bridge. We'll get there. All right.
The structures are there. If you think he's going to, all these things he's doing is going to be for nothing, we are waiting to reward him with the biggest of. It's just that I want to contest in 2000.
All right, thank you.
I don't know how to go and compete with you.
Thank you very much for being part of our program. It's really been nice having you. Thank you so much. And thank you viewers for watching. That's all we have for you today. See you again on Monday. I am Jumoke Michaels. Bye-bye.
Madam Banjibusari, the celebration has just started for Asiwaju at 67. We have started the celebration even 2 days before the main date. So join us. We are moving now with see you bye. See you on Monday.
How can I go and tell him to leave the way for me? I'm going to beg him.